Bruce, you must have something really good too.
Of course I do. It's Bruce Danielson, and I guess I'm here to entertain you too.
Meeting to order. The joint meeting of Minnehaha County and the City of Sioux Falls is now in session for April 27th, 2021. Please stand. Oh, excuse me. Roll call first. Minnehaha County recognizes a quorum.
Roll call for the city. Council members Jensen.
Here.
Kiley. Neitzert. Selberg.
Here.
Sale.
Here.
Starr. Brecky. Here. Erickson.
Here.
We have a quorum.
I'd ask you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item is approval of the regular agenda.
Move to approve the agenda.
We have a motion and a second on the county side. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
On the city side, I'd like a motion and a second.
Move to approve.
Second, Jensen.
Been moved in second. Could I get a roll call, please?
Council members Jensen.
Yes.
Selberg.
Yes.
Sale.
Yes.
Brecky.
Yes.
Erickson.
Yes.
Agenda is approved.
Item number 1, a resolution of the City of Sioux Falls approving the preliminary plans of the Shatter 4th Edition 13923-2021. Approval unanimously approved by both the City of Sioux Falls and Minnehaha County Planning Commissions. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, City Council and County Commission. Jason Bieber with the Planning and Development Services Department for the City of Sioux Falls. This is an application by Joel Engel. It's about just under 25 acres in size. It's located at approximately 2 miles west of Sioux Falls on Highway 38. That would be West 60th Street North in the City of Sioux Falls. The proposal is the applicant is proposing to take the existing 8 lots and actually add some additional land to those 8 lots. And then also eliminate the cul-de-sac and put a straight street through, which actually will help with the connectivity of the land to the north.
Are there any questions from the audience on this agenda item? Seeing none, are there any questions on the council side or the commission side? Seeing none, I would look for a motion on the commission side.
Move for approval, Benninga.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
I'd ask for a motion from the city council.
Move to approve, Erickson.
Second, Jensen.
Been moved and seconded. Could I get a roll call, please?
Council members Jensen.
Yes.
Selberg.
Yes.
Sale.
Yes,
Brecky.
Yes.
Erickson.
Yes.
that is approved.
Agenda item number 2, the 2020 Museum Enterprise Fund Report by Bill Hoskins, Director of the Siouxland Heritage Museums.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, commissioners, council members. Bill Hoskins, Director of the Siouxland Heritage Museums. I'm here to deliver the annual report for the Museum Enterprise Fund. The Enterprise Fund was established in 1995 through a joint cooperative agreement between the City of Sioux Falls and Minnehaha County. That agreement was updated in the year 2000. And that resolution requires that I file a report and make a presentation. The purpose of the fund was to receive revenues and account for expenses associated with the rental of space in the museum system, sponsorships, provision of programs, events, and services for which a fee is charged. The fund is one part of the museum's budget. It is a revenue fund. It's administered by Minnehaha County. Annual budgets for the expenditure in that fund are developed by the museum board. They make a recommendation to the city council and county commission, and it's determined by you in a joint budget hearing that usually happens in August. The fund revenue includes all grants coming into the museum, any cash donations or otherwise, sponsorships, the endowments, and so on, all goes through the enterprise fund. I, of course, was reviewing this just before and had turned this in about 6 weeks ago and found a mistake right off the bat. Our income is 143.28. It's a little higher than this slide indicates. Our expenses in 2020 were 149,000. And you can see the track record over the number of years. Most years we do a little bit better than what we spend. 2020 was a tough year. Our income in 2020 came in through a variety of different sources. The museum's endowment. We have an endowment that was established in the 90s through the Sioux Falls Area Community Foundation. Revenue from that endowment, which is 4% of the average balance over the last 12 quarters, enters our budget through the museum's enterprise fund. And last year it was about 35%. Also, it's a little off in the weeds, but we had a really good donor year in the endowment last year with about $160,000 being donated to the principal of the endowment, which just helps us down the line. The Alliance is a 501c3 friends group. They also usually donate cash into the museum's enterprise fund for support of exhibits and collection supplies and so on. 2020 wasn't as good a year for them. Their major fundraisers didn't happen. Educational programming, our income also in that area was down. A lot of our programming was canceled as a result of COVID. Exhibit fees also declined. Some of the outside projects that we do were put on hold or delayed. The donation box actually did pretty well, all things considered. Rental income was also down in 2020 as we ended up canceling about 20 rentals, and those that did occur, of the 55 that did occur, they were all sized down, and our fee schedules based upon number of attendees. And so we slid that number down below 60, and so we made money, but not nearly as much as we were. And the DAR grant is actually a grant from 2019, and the final report got done in December, and we didn't receive a check until February of 2020, which was a nice influx of cash at that point in time. Our expenses in 2020, we did have some educational programming. The Enterprise Fund pays for our exhibition program. We did open all our exhibits on schedule, on time in 2020. Collection supplies, rentals have an expense. It pays for all the labor associated with the provision of rentals, replacement of furniture that are used, and so on. The biggest thing that you'll see is payroll. And payroll, we have 2 full-time positions where 1/3 of the salary or the expense of the events coordinator and the exhibits assistant are paid for by the enterprise fund. In a normal year, we also would pay for summer internships. Those didn't happen in 2020. We took advantage of being closed, and we're able to bring in and replace the carpet in the first floor hall of the old courthouse museum while we were closed. It's something that we have to close to be able to do, and the board chose to spend that expenditure in the enterprise fund. If you look at our fund balance, it actually went down, but not very much. We lucked out in 2020, and of course, we always hope to have more revenue that comes in. And this represents the balances on December 31st of each of these years as a comparison. During the course of the year, the balance dips down, ebbs and flows depending on revenue. Within the enterprise fund, we have what we call obligated funds. And obligated funds are when the DAR gives us a grant for a particular thing. The board allocates endowment revenue for the conservation of a particular artifact. And we will track those obligated funds separately and in more detail so that we can turn around and give a detailed accounting to those donors or grantors that we have. This was another, if you look back in 2019, this is what a normal year looks like in terms of those obligated expenses. We have marketing usually, exhibit development, educational programs. We've done work with our gallery lighting, upgrading that. Repair of the tower clock was done in 2019. Collection supplies in 2019. In 2020, it was very similar. In 2020, a third of our cost for the exhibits assistant and events coordinator came out of the position, all labor associated with space rental, 100% of the cost of our educational programming, artifact conservation, staff training, collection supplies and materials, exhibit materials, all come from the enterprise fund. And this is a very brief overview. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. But I do want to say thank you. I think the enterprise fund has been a great tool that you have given me to help operate the museum and get things done.
Thank you, Bill, for your presentation. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Seeing none, are there any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, I'd ask, thank you, Bill. I'd ask if there's any public comment. See no public comment. I would look for a motion to adjourn on the Minnehaha County side.
So moved.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Look for a motion from the city council.
So moved, Erickson.
Second, Jensen.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
We have to do roll call.
We have to do a roll call on that?
We can, it's not going to hurt. Councilmembers Jensen,
Do a roll call.
Yes.
Selberg, Sale,
Yes.
Brecky,
Yes.
Erickson.
Yes.
Meeting is adjourned.